I still wake up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, replaying that morning over and over in my mind. The day our Lily vanished. Even after all these years, it feels as though it happened yesterday. Her laughter still echoes in this house, but the silence left behind is unbearable. It was March 16th, 2011. Just a regular Wednesday in our quiet little town of Somerset, Kentucky. Nothing ever happened here, until it did. That night, my husband Tom and I were exhausted after work. We went to bed around 10 p.m., as we always did. Lily, our 16-year-old daughter, was in her room. I peeked in before turning off the hallway light. She was curled up in bed, her headphones on, scrolling through her phone. She gave me a sleepy smile, and I whispered, "Good night, sweetheart." She nodded and went back to her screen. That was the last time I saw her. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of birds chirping outside our window. For a few blissful moments, everything felt normal. Then I noticed something strange. The house was eerily quiet. Usually, Lily's music would be playing softly, or I'd hear the creak of the floorboards as she moved around. I went to check on her, calling her name as I climbed the stairs. Her room was empty. Her bed was perfectly made, as though she hadn't even slept in it. Her phone was still on the nightstand, the screen black. Her backpack, shoes, and jacket were by the door. It was as if she'd simply vanished into thin air. At first, I told myself she must have gone out early to meet a friend or take a walk. But as the minutes passed, my heart started to race. Lily wasn't the type to leave without telling us. I woke Tom, and we searched the house from top to bottom. Nothing. We ran outside yelling her name. The neighbors came out concerned and joined the search. By noon, the police were involved. Officers combed through the woods behind our house, every abandoned building in town, the creek down by the old mill. Dozens of volunteers joined the effort, but there was no sign of Lily, not a footprint, not a strand of hair. It was as if the earth had swallowed her whole. The days after her disappearance blurred into a nightmare. The police tried to reassure us, saying she'd probably run away, but Tom and I knew better. Lily was happy at home. She didn't have a reason to leave, and even if she had, why would she leave her phone, her shoes, her jacket? Weeks turned into months. The case went cold. The town moved on, but we couldn't. I spent sleepless nights pacing the house, listening for the sound of her voice. Tom tried to be strong, but I caught him breaking down more than once when he thought I wasn't looking. Then, exactly 1 year after she disappeared, we received the first letter. It was an ordinary day. I was sorting through the mail when I noticed an envelope with no return address. The handwriting was messy, almost childlike, and the postmark was smudged. I opened it, my hands trembling. Inside was a single piece of paper with 6 words scrawled across it. "I saw Lily last week. Happy." I froze. My heart raced as I reread the words. Who had written this? Was it a cruel joke, or was it real? Tom tried to convince me to ignore it, but I couldn't. I called the police, but there was nothing they could do. No fingerprints, no clues. The second letter arrived exactly 1 year later. This one was darker. I saw her again, by the old well in the woods. She didn't look happy this time. The old well, everyone in town knew about it. It had been sealed off years ago after a boy fell in and drowned. The police searched the area again, but found nothing. The letters kept coming year after year, each one more disturbing than the last. She's wearing the same dress as the night she left. She's not alone anymore. She wants to come home, but she can't. Tom couldn't take it anymore. After the 5th letter, he packed a bag and moved in with his brother out of state. But I stayed. I couldn't leave. This house is the last place Lily was, and I can't bear to abandon her memory. Last year's letter was the most horrifying yet. Stop looking. She's not yours anymore. Now, the anniversary is approaching again. I've been dreading the arrival of the next letter, but I know it's coming. What will it say this time? Will it offer hope or rip open old wounds? Some nights, I sit by the window and imagine her walking up the driveway, her arms outstretched, a smile on her face. Other nights, I can't sleep, haunted by visions of her calling out to me, trapped somewhere I can't reach. If Lily is out there, if she can somehow hear me, I want her to know one thing. We never stopped loving her. We never will.